Laminate flooring was supposed to be the smart homeowner's choice. It looks like hardwood, costs a fraction of the price, and is easy to install yourself on a weekend with click-lock installation systems. The perfect solution for budget-conscious families who want beautiful floors without the premium price tag. What the flooring industry conveniently forgot to mention: why so many homeowners rip it out within 5 to 7 years, and why real estate agents often cringe when they see it in listings. Most people think they made a smart decision until the floor starts changing, and then they realize it was never wood to begin with. If you don't want that moment in your own home, subscribe and hit like, because what you're about to see is what the industry hopes you never notice. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Laminate is not wood. It is a high-resolution photograph of wood, printed on compressed HDF, high-density fiberboard covered with a plastic coating. You are literally walking on a giant poster glued to sawdust, and yet Americans install over 100 million square feet of laminate flooring every single year because they believe it is the budget-friendly alternative to hardwood. They believe they are making the financial decision. Today, I am showing you 10 things the laminate flooring industry does not want you to know. From the hidden abrasion class ratings that determine whether your floor lasts 5 years or 15 years, to the 2015 scandal that forced the industry to change its practices entirely, to the hollow sound that makes even expensive laminate feel cheap the moment you step on it. The worst part? I've saved it for number 1. It involves chemicals, health concerns, and a 60-minute investigation that sent shockwaves through the entire flooring industry. But first, let us start with number 10. It is a photograph on fiberboard. Let us be clear about what laminate flooring actually is, because the marketing makes it sound like you are getting wood at a discount. You are not. Laminate flooring is constructed in layers. The bottom is a backing layer for stability. Above that is the core, typically made of HDF, high-density fiberboard, which is essentially compressed wood fibers and resins. On top of that sits the design layer. This is a high-resolution photograph of wood grain printed on paper, and covering everything is a clear wear layer made of melamine resin. The wood grain you see? It is ink. The texture you feel when you run your hand across it? That is embossed plastic designed to mimic real wood. Unlike hardwood, which has depth and character that changes with light and angle, laminate has a single printed image repeated across your floor. In good lighting, especially natural daylight, the difference becomes obvious. This does not mean laminate is worthless, but it does mean you should know exactly what you are paying for. You are not getting wood at a discount. You are getting a photograph of wood at full price. Speaking of knowing what you are paying for, number 9 is the rating system that determines whether your floor survives or fails. And most people have never heard of it. What AC ratings actually mean. Every laminate floor has something called an AC rating. AC stands for Abrasion class, and it measures how well the floor resists wear, scratches, impact, and daily use. The scale runs from AC1 to AC5, with higher numbers indicating greater durability. Here is what the industry does not always make clear. AC1 and AC2 are designed for very light traffic. Think guest bedrooms or closets you rarely enter. AC3 is suitable for general residential use, including living rooms and hallways. AC4 enters commercial-grade territory designed for offices and retail spaces. AC5 is heavy commercial, built for department stores and public buildings. The problem? Many budget laminate options at major retailers tend to be AC3. For a quiet household with light traffic, AC3 may be adequate. But for families with children, pets, or heavy daily use, AC3 can show visible wear in high traffic areas within just a few years. If you want laminate that actually lasts, look for AC4. It costs more upfront, but the extended lifespan often makes it the better value. Some flooring experts recommend AC4 as the minimum for any home with regular activity. And here is something most salespeople will not tell you. Thickness does not equal quality. A 12mm plank is not necessarily better than an 8mm plank. The AC rating matters far more than thickness for durability. Now, Durability against scratches is one thing, but what about water? Number 8 is where laminate's biggest weakness becomes impossible to ignore. Water is the enemy. Laminate flooring. Marketing often emphasizes water resistance. Some products even claim to be waterproof. Here is what that actually means. The wear layer on top of laminate resists water from above. Spills that are wiped up quickly may not cause damage, but the core of laminate flooring, that HDF layer made of compressed wood fibers, absorbs moisture like a sponge. According to flooring restoration professionals, water damage to laminate can begin within 2 to 4 hours. After 24 hours, moisture soaks into the fiberboard core, causing irreversible swelling and warping. Unlike hardwood, which can sometimes be dried and salvaged, laminate flooring generally cannot be restored once the core material has swollen. The damage is permanent. This is why laminate shows bubbling at edges, warping along seams, and lifting where planks meet. Pet accidents, overwatered plants, slow refrigerator leaks, a dishwasher that malfunctions, even excessive mopping can cause problems over time. The damage often starts before you even notice there is a problem. Water resistant is not the same as waterproof, and even products marketed as waterproof typically mean the surface resists water, not that the seams and edges are sealed against moisture penetration. If your laminate floor is damaged by water, you cannot refinish it. Which brings us to number 7. It cannot be refinished. This is perhaps the most important difference between laminate and real hardwood, and it is the one most homeowners do not fully understand until it is too late. Solid hardwood floors can be sanded and refinished 3 to 5 times over their lifespan. Some hardwood floors last 50 to 100 years with proper maintenance. When they get scratched, dented, or worn from decades of use, you sand down the surface and apply new finish. The floor looks new again. You can even change the color if you want a different stain. Laminate cannot be sanded. The wear layer is too thin, and beneath it is paper and fiberboard, not wood. If you try to sand laminate, you destroy the photograph layer and expose the core. The floor is ruined. This means a deep scratch, a burn mark, a stain, or significant wear in a high traffic area cannot be repaired. Your only options are to replace individual planks, which requires removing boards from the wall to reach the damaged area, or to replace the entire floor. Flooring professionals describe laminate as disposable flooring. The typical lifespan is 10 to 25 years depending on quality and maintenance, but once it shows significant wear, replacement is the only solution. There is no second chance. There is no renewal. Hardwood, by contrast, can be renewed generation after generation. That is why hardwood adds genuine value to a home, while laminate typically does not. Speaking of value, number 6 is about something you notice the moment you step onto a laminate floor, and it is almost impossible to fix. The hollow sound problem. One industry publication called this laminate's Achilles heel, the hollow, echoing sound when you walk across the floor. Because laminate is installed as a floating floor system, not nailed or glued to the subfloor, there is an AAIR gap between the planks and the surface beneath. When you step on the floor, the plank flexes slightly and taps against the subfloor. The empty space allows sound to reverberate. The result is a distinct click-clack or drum-like sound that is immediately noticeable. Even visitors who know nothing about flooring often sense something feels different. The floor feels less substantial, less solid, less permanent. Quality. Underlayment helps reduce this sound. Cork and high-density foam underlayments absorb some of the impact noise, but they cannot eliminate it entirely. The hollow resonance is inherent to how floating floor systems are constructed. Hardwood installed properly has a solid, substantial feel. Laminate, even expensive laminate, often feels hollow underfoot. This is one reason why experienced buyers and real estate professionals can't identify laminate instantly. And that perception matters more than you might think. Which brings us to number 5. Real estate perception. Here is something the laminate industry does not advertise. In certain markets and price points, laminate flooring is seen as a cost-cutting measure rather than a smart investment. Real estate professionals have noted that in some neighborhoods, laminate signals that corners were cut. Listings routinely highlight hardwood floors as a selling feature. You will see phrases like original hardwood throughout or newly refinished hardwood in marketing descriptions. Nobody highlights laminate. When appraisers assess home value, hardwood floors typically add measurable value. Laminate, in most cases, does not contribute the same premium. It is viewed as functional flooring rather than a value-adding feature. This does not mean laminate is wrong for every situation. In rental properties, basements, or budget-conscious renovations, laminate serves a practical purpose. But in luxury markets or when resale value matters, laminate can work against the perceived quality of your home. Perception may not be fair, but perception affects what buyers are willing to pay. Now, number 4 is about something you can see if you look closely, and once you notice it, you cannot unsee it. Pattern repetition. Remember that laminate is a photograph printed on paper. That photograph has to come from somewhere, and manufacturers only create a limited number of unique images. Budget laminate often uses just 4 to 6 unique plank patterns. These patterns are repeated throughout your floor in what appears to be random order, but in good lighting, especially natural daylight, the repetition becomes visible. You start noticing the same knot appearing every few feet, the same grain patterns showing up near the doorway and again by the window. The artificial nature of the floor becomes obvious. Higher quality laminate uses more unique patterns and longer repeat cycles, making the repetition less noticeable. But even premium laminate cannot match the infinite variation of real wood, where every single board is genuinely unique. This is why some homeowners describe laminate as looking increasingly fake over time. When the floor was new, they did not notice, but after living with it for a year or two, the repetition becomes impossible to ignore. Alternatives like luxury vinyl plank or LVT and stone plastic composite flooring or SPC attempt to address this with more realistic textures and patterns, though they have their own limitations. We are past halfway now, and the next 3 issues affect your floor's long-term appearance, your health, and your wallet. Starting with number 3, chipping and edge damage. The edges of laminate planks are vulnerable. During installation, improper handling can chip the corners. After installation, dropped objects, dragged furniture, and even pet claws can damage the edges where planks meet. When laminate chips, it exposes the white or tan HDF core beneath the photograph layer. This damage is highly visible and essentially impossible to repair properly. Touch-up markers and repair kits can disguise minor damage, but they cannot truly fix it. The chip remains. The exposed core remains, and over time, moisture can enter through these damaged areas, causing further problems. Transitions between rooms and doorways are particularly vulnerable because they receive the most traffic and the most impact. These are often the first areas to show edge damage. Unlike hardwood, where scratches and dents can add character or be sanded away, laminate damage is permanent and tends to look worse over time rather than better. Now, number 2 involves something that affects your floor every single day, even when you are not walking on it. Sunlight fading laminate flooring is a printed photograph covered with a protective layer. Like any printed material, it can fade when exposed to UV light over time. Areas of your floor that receive direct sunlight may gradually lighten compared to areas covered by furniture or rugs. When you eventually move that couch or roll up that rug, you may find ghost outlines where the protected floor retained its original color while the exposed areas faded. Hardwood also changes with sunlight, but it develops what is called patina, a natural aging that many people find beautiful. Laminate does not develop patina, it simply fades. South-facing rooms with large windows are most affected. The change happens slowly, so you may not notice until the damage is significant. Some higher quality laminates include UV protection in their wear layers, which helps slow the fading process. But no laminate is completely immune to light damage over extended periods. And now, the issue I mentioned at the beginning. Number 1, the reason the entire laminate flooring industry had to change its practices. The formaldehyde issue. In March of 2015, 60 Minutes aired an investigation that changed the laminate flooring industry. The report revealed that Chinese-made laminate flooring sold by Lumber Liquidators, one of the largest flooring retailers in America, contained formaldehyde levels that exceeded California emission standards. In some cases, testing showed formaldehyde levels up to 20 times the legal limit. Formaldehyde is a known carcinogen used in the adhesives that bind wood fibers together in laminate flooring cores. While formaldehyde is present in many building materials at low levels, the concentrations found in some imported laminate products raised serious health concerns. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention conducted a follow-up investigation and raised its estimate of cancer risk from the affected flooring. Lumber Liquidators eventually paid $33 million in fines and pulled its Chinese-made laminate products from the market. This scandal forced industry-wide changes. Today, reputable manufacturers follow stricter emission standards. Look for certifications like CARB 2 compliant, Floor Score, or Green Guard Gold. These indicate the product has been tested for formaldehyde and volatile organic compound emissions. Floor Score certification is specifically designed for flooring products and measures volatile organic compound emissions over time. Green Guard Gold takes this further by testing for over 360 chemicals to ensure low chemical emissions for indoor air quality. Since 2018, TSCA Title VI has become the federal standard governing formaldehyde emissions in composite wood products, replacing the patchwork of state regulations with national requirements. But not all laminate on the market meets these standards today. Budget products from unknown manufacturers may still contain higher levels of formaldehyde, particularly products manufactured overseas without independent certification. If you are installing laminate flooring, especially in bedrooms or children's rooms where people spend hours breathing the air, certification matters. This is not fear-mongering. This is documented history that resulted in federal charges, millions in penalties, and industry-wide changes. Here is what ties all 10 of these issues together. Laminate flooring is not evil. It serves a purpose. For basements with moisture concerns where wood would fail. For rental properties with high turnover where durability matters more than longevity. For budget renovations where cost is the primary factor and replacement in 10 years is acceptable, laminate can make sense. But the industry has spent decades marketing laminate as a smart alternative to wood, as a way to get the wood look for less, as a durable, practical choice for any home in any room. The reality is more complicated. Laminate is a photograph on fiberboard that cannot be refinished, sounds hollow underfoot, shows pattern repetition in good light, chips at the edges, fades in sunlight, absorbs water damage permanently, and historically has raised health concerns about the chemicals used in its production. Knowing these limitations does not mean you should never buy laminate. It means you should buy it with eyes open, understanding exactly what you are getting and what you are giving up. If you want flooring that lasts a lifetime, that can be refinished when damaged, that adds genuine value to your home, that your grandchildren might walk on someday, that is hardwood. Or quality engineered hardwood with a real wood veneer. If you want flooring that costs less, installs easily with click-lock systems, and serves its purpose for 10 to 15 years before replacement, laminate can work. Just choose wisely. AC4 rating minimum. Certified for low emissions. Quality underlayment installed properly. And realistic expectations about what you are actually buying. The flooring industry wants you to believe laminate is wood at a discount. It is not. It is a different product entirely. Know the difference before you spend. Here is my question for you. Do you have laminate flooring in your home right now? How long have you had it, and how is it holding up? 1 year, 5 years, 10? Are you happy with it, or do you wish you had made a different choice? I genuinely want to know. Tell me your honest experience in the comments. If this video changed how you think about flooring choices, I have another one on gray floors and why they are already looking dated. Plus one on the home trends that will look ridiculous in 5 years. Links are in the description. I will see you in the next one.